Cornelius has been in your system for a while, obviously. What's just most impressed you about him, the way he's carried himself through spring, off-season now, heading into camp?
Well, Taylor Cornelius, I think, has impressed me most on his determination and his love for Oklahoma State and his passion to get on the field and his commitment to this program. It's a guy that had opportunities to go elsewhere and and to help his family out from a financial standpoint, because he could have went to school for free at other places, but decided to walk on at Oklahoma State, earned himself a scholarship, learned the offense very well, developed himself in the offseason. So that's what impresses me about Taylor Cornelius. In a day and age where maybe you don't see that so much, I can't necessarily go along with that theme that I hear coaches saying all the time, because my room is so awesome, from a guy like J.W. Walsh, who back in the day, came back and stayed true to Oklahoma State when he could have graduated and transferred. He stayed true. So, Taylor being around that environment and being around that culture, it became very natural for him to just stick it out. And so, those are the great things that you like to see in a young man, and those are the things that you want your kids to see and understand, and to have that stick-to-itiveness and that commitment, and that just want to be a Cowboy and want to become the guy. So I'm excited for him. We all are, and in his opportunity. But, it's not just that. He's a very capable young man. I can't wait to let him loose and to see what he can do. He's got good arm strength, accurate passer, understands the system, great feet, can move. Just lacks the game experience, but he won't flinch. The other strong attribute Taylor possesses is he's not a very high and low guy. He's a steady guy with a mentality, and very consistent from a mental state of mind framework guy.
How much when you lose a quarterback and you lose 3 receivers and you lose a couple of offensive linemen and a tight end, how much adjustments do the players have to make to what you're going to do next?
I don't necessarily think that it's the players have to adjust. I think as a coach, you want to make sure that you adjust to what their strengths are. So our system is, the guts of it will never change, and it'll always stay the same way. And as we progress and as you navigate through who your best personnel is, you want to play to their strengths. I don't think you'll see you won't see a lot change with our offense, but there has to be some adaptation to who your personnel is, and to try to grab those strengths and utilize those people the best you possibly can. So I think it's more about us coaches. We're going to teach a system, yes, but I don't think that our personnel is drastically different than where we've been in the past. I think it's very similar to certain aspects of moving the football forward down the field. But I think as coaches, I think the responsibility falls on us to make sure that we're adapting as well.
Is it more for them? Is it more for just reps and playing time, just getting used to playing? Guys who have been backups in the past?
I think so. It's everything. I think it's everything that the offseason's about, right? Getting stronger, getting faster, and then obviously it's the mental game, and then the fundamentals, and then the game experience, gaining that. And I think it's that whole part.
Obviously, life has been great with Mason Rudolph over the last several years, but getting new guys in here, having a quarterback competition, is it any way kind of invigorating to you as the offensive coordinator, QB coach?
Yeah, it's always invigorating being a part of this program, quite honestly. We've been blessed to have great quarterbacks for a long time here, but ever since I've been here, it's been an awesome room. From a talent standpoint, from a character standpoint. So getting to coach these guys and getting some fresh blood in there as well, that these guys that are new are also guys that we've evaluated and felt fit our Cowboy culture. So they're cut from the same cloth, if you will. So it's just exciting to be with those guys and to coach them and to see how everybody learns, and to be able to communicate and get feedback and just build relationships with these people. It's an awesome profession.
Definitely a different challenge for you this season than the last couple.
It's always about that. I think you're always trying to improve on that. You're always trying to teach better. You're always trying to find out how a guy learns better. Whether Rudolph was a sophomore or a senior, you're always trying to make sure that they're the most prepared they possibly can be. And just because it's a new set of fresh downs doesn't mean any of that changes. It's still the same philosophy. Try to make a kid the best player he possibly can be. And that's an ongoing process, and you're always trying to find ways to improve upon that.
With Taylor's experience, and Mike even went as far as to say, Gundy went as far as to say, Taylor's our guy, right? As it stands right now, obviously with Spencer coming in, the kid from Hawaii. Is it fair to say with Taylor's experience, it would take a strong effort from those two guys coming in late to beat him out?
Well, I don't necessarily know if it's just experience. I think it's ability. It's accountability. It's the ability to make sure that the ball is secure and not throw interceptions, right? Make the right reads, and so it's a lot to it. It's not just about the experience; it's about ability. It's all mixed in, and Taylor is a very productive quarterback with a lot of ability. So looking forward to seeing him get the opportunity here.
You talked about finding the offense and kind of making adjustments to their strengths. You've got the quarterbacks on roster. A lot of them are pretty athletic, maybe can run a little bit better than Mason did. Is there safe to say maybe you could use their run? You would like to use their run game a little differently, or is it something where you'd rather
I don't think
protect them kind of like what you did with Mason?
Yes, I understand your question, and I don't think you're going to see more quarterback runs from our offense. We sprinkled in some quarterback runs even with Rudolph in there just to keep the defense honest, whether it was a zone read keeper or on the edge, and you sprinkle those in a couple times a game. But you got to be careful because you don't want you got to make sure that quarterback is being protected and making sure that one, we're throwing the ball well down the field, and two, when they cover the pass, we have to hand it off to our talented running back core. Now, will we have a couple quarterback runs in there? I think you sprinkle them in, but as we always have, but nothing drastic. We're not gonna change our offense.
I'm sure you've seen seeing Mason and James get to move on to the pros, and they're on the same team even.
It's awesome, unfortunately, I grew up a Browns fan, so I had plans to see some family on vacation, and they won't talk to me anymore because I've changed jerseys. But what are you going to do? I went to school out there south of Pittsburgh, so I got a bunch of college buddies that we're now reuniting, so to speak. They used to dog me for years, so now we're all in the same boat, But I'm just kidding. But I'm still not a Browns fan. But I'm tickled pink for those guys to get the opportunity, and to be on the same team is awesome. And they're great young men. They're going to have great professional careers, and they're going to continue to do what got them there, and that's work real hard and go to work and be a great teammate and do the best they possibly can and control everything that they can control. That's what those guys are awesome at is they take care of their business.
Did you buy the home or away Cleveland Browns jersey this year?
I did not. I did not buy a Browns jersey. That's a good joke, dude. Good one.
Serious question for you then. With the offseason news,
why are you still laughing at this?
Because I cracked myself up, obviously. Offseason news that you got a big raise. I just wonder if you could maybe express your appreciation to the school, or that's from where you came from when you got here.
Oh.
It's enormous.
Yeah, it is enormous. It's outrageous, enormous, and I do appreciate it. Our family appreciates very much, and I can't say enough about that. But I think right now it's a time for preseason to focus on that team, and I think Oklahoma State wants to be very competitive at football and at all aspects.
Yeah. You probably never thought of money like that when you were a young assistant coach, did you?
Never. I mean, it's we're in a day and age and so many things going on in the world. I understand it's whatever, we can talk about market value and anything like that, but I want the focus to be on the team here and focus on what we have to do preseason wise. Get ready.
How jacked up do you get when you see your running backs doing what they're doing in the weight room? Like a short situation has got to be amazing for you right now. Right?
It's going to be fun, and a lot of times, when your quarterback hands the ball off, we all know there's 11 guys trying to tackle, and you got 10, so it's 11 on 10. But our guys, it looks like, can make you miss or run you over now. So we're excited about those guys, what they bring to the table, but just an enthusiasm around those individuals when they did accomplish those the weights that they were throwing up and whatever goals they were setting, to see the team energized and see the enthusiasm, guys just going crazy. That's what you hope to see and hope to be a part of.
Do you feel like this might be one of your most talented running back rooms that you've had since you've been here?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And Justice Hill specifically, what's his ceiling as far as how good of a college player he can be?
Well, I think he was a very productive player last year with 1,400 yards. I think he led the Big 12. Is that correct? And he's as good as I've seen in the country, and he's a great young man. He's a high character guy. Comes from a great high school program, and I think you're just seeing a really well-rounded young man get into his potential, and it's great to see. He's done a great job preparing his body with strength training, but you combine that with just God-given talent, and just his parents did a heck of a job raising him because he's the ultimate team player, and so it's just fun to coach that guy. How good can he be? I'm not so sure. I mean, he's awesome, and I'd like to see more of it.
Mike said something about 15 carries a game.
I don't know what the number will be.
I mean, kid's pretty talented.
He's very talented.
So, if 15 works for him, I guess that's everybody's.
Coach
okay.
Gundy wants 15, and he's going to get 15, brother.
Coach, what's the new Redshirt rule? How many options does that open up for you now?
Come again, please.
The new Redshirt rule.
Yeah.
How many options does that open up for you as a coach? Like, is that exciting?
Well, it is exciting, and I think it's exciting most importantly to the student athletes, because it's in their best interest now, not burning a year, and in fact they can capitalize if redshirted and do more degree work, or even work towards a master's degree, and still get another year paid for. So I think it's a great rule change for the student athlete. I think as coaches, we have to learn and make sure that we're trying to discuss all scenarios that could possibly happen, because situations may change based on injury, based on ability, based on what you learn in camp. Things may change as you progress through on who's the number 2 guy, who's the number 3 guy, and so that factors in on how you and what you want to do with as far as who you're projecting to redshirt. Because ultimately what we're trying to do is win football games. So the best guy's got to play, and then the next best guy's got to be the backup. But then you're also trying to do the best thing for the football team, and that's position yourself to possibly redshirt a guy. And so how does that factor all in? And that takes a lot of discussions and a lot of forethought. And then I don't think anything can be written in stone. I think it's going to be a fluid process as you progress through the season on what scenarios play out.
What's your philosophy on how you handle that quarterback competition? You got 3 pretty talented guys who want to be the starter. Do you have a game plan on how to handle it?
Well, sure. I mean, our most talented and the guy that gives us the best chance to win the game is going to play. I mean, obviously. And Taylor's the guy, and we need to prepare him like the starter, like we did with Rudolph last year, and make sure that he's firing on all cylinders. And then the tricky part is the backup, who becomes the backup. And so those reps are very precious. And so those guys, they have to prove themselves right off the bat, and they can't waste a rep because everything will be evaluated.
It's kind of a unique situation. You've got a 5th-year graduate transfer and a true freshman behind Taylor.
Yeah.
Is there an urgency in either direction to say we got to move him along because he's a freshman? We got to get him on the field because we've only got him for 1 year, whatever the situation is?
Yes, sir. My job in preparing the quarterbacks, I have to get the next quarterback ready, whoever it may be. And so I have to coach that position the best I possibly can and give those guys the information they need to play their best. And that's our role as coaches. That's what we have to try to do. And then whoever emerges. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you want to put any, you don't want to predetermine who that's going to be. And you have to let it play out and give your team the best chance to win ball games.